Hey everybody, and welcome back to Indianapolis Colts franchise on Madden 26. Your Indianapolis Colts went 11-6. We won the AFC South, and we hosted a wild card playoff game. Now, unfortunately, we went down to the Titans 17-19, a 2-point loss due to a lot of poor play calling, and I'll take blame for most of that. But we have a good, solid young team. I like our quarterback. I like our receiving options. We've got some pretty decent picks because of the trades we made last offseason. So let's get into this offseason video and take a little look around. First, we're going to be going through stats. Eric Madden, 3,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. 36 sacks is, I mean, that's not awful, but I would like that number to go down. Madden also added nearly 600 yards on the ground, but only one rushing touchdown, which is pretty surprising. 1,735 yards, 24 touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor, 7.5 yards per carry. Taylor had an outstanding year. Nothing really in the receiving yards for him, but yeah, no, his running game is, I mean, it's sank to none. 58 receptions, 811 yards, 5 touchdowns from Marvin Harrison in his first year in Indianapolis, 741 yards, 64 receptions and 9 touchdowns for Tyler Warren. The rookie, Cam Hewitt, goes 70 receptions, 719 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Downs, the fourth option, goes for just under 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. Giddens actually went for quite a lot, 17 receptions, 259 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's not half bad for a backup running back. Cam Bynum led us in interceptions with Charvarius Ward, 3 for each of those veterans, 2 interceptions for the rookie Eric Fernandez, a pick for Cross and Moore, Cook, Jay Ward, and Christian Barmore. I forgot that Christian Barmore intercepted the ball at one point. DeForest Buckner leads us with 7 sacks. Tulamau and Layatu Latu with 9.5 total. That's the thing we got to change. Our entire edges this whole year got 11.5 sacks. Our defensive tackles got 13.5, so like we have to upgrade pass rush in the offseason. We have to do something about it. 31 tackles for loss for DeForest Buckner, the veteran, looking great. Cam Bynum with 94 tackles is tied with Nick Cross. So our leading tacklers were the safeties. That's not generally a good sign, but Nick Cross also got 2.5 sacks. Zaire Franklin was kind of a down year, no interceptions, 3.5 sacks, 88 total tackles. Jerome Baker, 4 sacks, 77 tackles, 25 for loss. The tackles for losses went crazy this year, but that's just kind of the defense we were playing. Spencer Schrader, 20 of 22, 90 percentage, make percentage for our kicker. Kick return is pretty unnotable. Same with punt return. I like what Sean Griffin was doing. Not crazy about, like, we can upgrade, but it's not a pressing need right now. We're gonna take a look at those other outstanding rookie quarterbacks. Enrique Pemberton was the first overall pick. Well, I mean, he was the 5th overall pick, but he was the first quarterback taken in last year's draft by the Saints. 24 touchdowns, 14 picks, 3,600 yards, sacked nearly 60 times. So Pemberton, yeah, he had a rough start to his career. Drew Dawson, my personal favorite of last year's draft picks, he wrecked us when we went up against him. But yeah, 16 interceptions is way too many. 22 touchdowns is okay. 3,400 yards and 35 sacks. So I mean, way too many turnovers, but he did well in his first year for the Steelers. Took him to the playoffs. Sebastian Knowles is a madman. 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 picks, sacked 33 times, and he's in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you go from being the 9th overall pick in the draft to being in the Super Bowl, and he's facing off against Devin Banks, my second favorite quarterback from last year's draft. 34 touchdowns, 9 picks, 4,100 yards, 42 sacks. Sebastian Knowles both had outstanding years. It's funny because the Rams are in a really good position overall, right? Like, it's actually crazy that the Jets did that with their current team, but, you know, this is fantasy land. Hugh Robertson didn't make the field at all. We'll have to check back next year, see if he's able to upend the Cardinals' quarterback room. Connor Brooks goes 22 touchdowns, 11 picks, 2,800 yards, and 33 sacks. He took over for Russell Wilson week 3 or 4. I can't quite remember. But yeah, the third-round pick looks really good. There's some good value there for us, especially if you look at this year's quarterbacks are not looking fantastic. As we jump to the yearly awards, and Josh Allen wins the MVP, Caleb Williams, number 2. The rookie quarterback is 3rd in voting. That's kind of crazy. Lewis Fox, Panthers head coach, wins coach of the year. I don't think we're... Oh, no, yeah, we're down there. We got a little bit of love, so that's cool. NFC Player of the Year is Devonta Smith of the Eagles. Abdul Carter of the Giants wins Defensive Player of the Year. That's pretty sweet. Devin Banks wins Rookie of the Year for the NFC, and Dewan Adkins, the guy that I wanted to take, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Saints. So we missed out on someone. Yeah, I'm not even... Whatever, man. AFC Offensive Player of the Year does go to Jonathan Taylor, so good job to him. Josh Allen wins MVP, but not Offensive Player of the Year. It's interesting. Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think we really had any... Our defense overall took a huge step back this past year. So Jets get the top 2 Rookies of the Year with Sebastian Knowles and Spencer Ward. Espinoza goes up there. Eric Madden's 4th in voting, and Hewitt 9th in voting. Another defensive tackle. So both Rookies of the Year, AFC and NFC, were both defensive tackles. That's when the last time something like that happened. Probably never, because they don't give away single defensive conference. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. Nick Buckner of the Browns wins his conference, as we have Eric Fernandez getting the 7th most votes for Defensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC. Overall happiness is pretty high. Look at that, other than the fans. Fans don't like us going to the playoffs and losing twice. Well, guess what? We could just go back to not making the playoffs if you want. All right, place your bets now. Who wins? Is it going to be the Rams, or is it going to be the Jets? I'm going to bet, you know, with the way those Jets are playing, I'm going to say they somehow squeak out a victory here. And that is exactly... No, it does... I'm sorry, I said squeak out a victory. Jets blow out the Rams 13-31. Jets getting their 2nd Super Bowl in franchise history. I mean, all the way back to Joe Namath, right? Sebastian Knowles wins MVP. He's the Offensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC, and he wins Super Bowl MVP. So we got a really, really good quarterback to compete with here in the AFC. I bet the Jets are going to be our bane moving forward. We have the 4th mock draft out with... I think this will be our final draft positions, right? Vikings get that number 1 pick overall. Love to see that as a Vikings fan. Taking a left tackle. I guess maybe Darrisaw hung himself. All right, what are we looking here? John McCain, that's who we're looking for. Dante Walker was the other one I was interested in. He's going to be taken 10th overall. Sure, dude. We got a Monte Peak. I called him Peck earlier in the year, but yeah, Peak taken right there. Ooh, they have us taking a right tackle, Blake Bell. I like Blake Bell a lot. He looks like a solid player. But yeah, we'll be taking John McCain. Alvarado is also a very good center. Levi Baker could be sweet. Yeah, it looks like Jack Hall. They have the Jets taking a quarterback. This game is ridiculous. Looks like John McCain slipping out of the 1st round in the 4th mock draft, so we'll check out number 5 and see if that changes anything. We're going to take a look at the retirements now, see who is leaving the Colts. Tyler Lockett, Taekwon Lewis, Johnny Munt, and Mo Alley Cox. All right, so we have a need for tight end with 2 of our backups retiring. Obviously, Edge we were going to upgrade anyways, and Tyler Lockett, we traded for him just to try to re-sign Josh Downs, and Josh Downs never went for it, so that was kind of a failure bringing in that young man. Alrighty, we have 11 players ready to negotiate, and we have a lot of money, $169 million to play with in a quarterback on a rookie contract that we don't have to pay for another 3 years. Not going to pick up the 5th-year option on Marvin Harrison. I think I can probably re-sign him for a lot less than value, or less than he would be getting paid if I did tag him there. Quentin Nelson I definitely want back. Josh Downs hits the road. Leatu Latu does not get his 5th-year option. DeForest Buckner I would like back. Christian Barmore I also want back. Kwity Paye can leave. Garnes will look to pick up in the free agent signing period, because I like what Garnes did, undrafted kid coming in. I like that, but he was just asking for a little bit too much money at the beginning there. Kenny Moore, 32-year-old. I mean, I like him, but I don't know. We kind of have plans to take a cornerback. There's a lot of good cornerbacks. I forgot to look at the draft class. The draft classes should be, like, the scouting should be opened up even more. Jerome Baker played well for us, so we might look to bring him back. So McGarry and Treadwell probably should offer. All right, let's start here. All right, first of all, Marvin Harrison, no thank you. Quentin Nelson doesn't really want to be here. Wants to play in a warm weather state with no income tax. He went to Notre Dame, as you can see on the screen, and he's played the last, what, 8-9 years for the Colts. Let's give him 1 year, 23. See if he goes for it. I'm excited. Yes, hey, look at that. He's like, oh, warm weather. No, I guess I'll take $23 million to stay in Indianapolis. I can deal with the cold. Not even going to offer on Josh Downs. He's just not in our plans. Good luck getting out there and finding a team. No fifth-year option for Latu, not developing the way I want him to. Between these two guys here, I guess I would rather Buckner. He was making all sorts of plays for us. And we do have a lot of money. So if what's 22 million say? Free agency for you? The franchise tag on a defensive tackle, 29 mil. All right, well, let's think about it. Barmore is so much cheaper, holy cow. We'll up the money here for Christian Barmore. 2 years, 36. Okay, new team for him as well. Well, I guess we'll be needing some defensive tackles. Quiddy Pay can walk. Kenny wants to be here. I don't think I want to pay him 16 a year to be here, though. We're going to give him just the basement offer. Yeah. Kind of expected that one out of that young man. Jerome Baker played very well for us. But we got a lot of good linebackers. So, basement offer for Baker, and he walks. Treadwell, I mean, lowest we can offer is $1 million and a 3, and he says no, but we'll try to target him in the offseason. Alrighty, do I pay DeForest Buckner $29 a year? Yeah, I think I'm going to. I have so much money anyways, and it's 1 year, so what difference does it make, right? Like, we'll get that money back next year anyways. We have $117 million going into free agency. Carson Shepard, quarterback, slow motion. Interesting. Here, any of these kids that I'm really interested in. Peter Minor is very good. Junior Johnson, running back, also looked solid. Sign free agents, or should I scout players first? Let's take a look at our team. What do we need? Obviously, quarterback is in great position. We'll probably draft a kid to come in and compete. Riley Leonard, Daniel Jones look fine for backups, but yeah, we'll take a shot at them in the later rounds. Running back, do we really want to bring in? I like DJ Giddens a lot. In fact, DJ Giddens had an 80 overall. How many more years do we have Giddens here? 2 more years, I think. So we might use him in some trade value. We'll see what the running backs look like. But yeah, I like our running back room right now. RJ Johnson's fine. We're going to be targeting that big wide receiver in the draft, John McCain. So that will be our number 2 guy. Pritchett, Gold, and Blaine as our slots. So we could potentially use a speedy wide receiver. We could use a 3rd tight end, even though we'll probably draft who's ever the best speed tight end we can find. But yeah, 2 good tight ends here. So Ryman is a good left tackle. Quentin Nelson is back. Bordellini is good. Conclaves, we could upgrade. He's a 78, playing up to a 78. He's probably not going to be here for too many more years, right? I can't imagine he's yeah, this is his final year under contract, so we could definitely use an upgrade in right guard, and obviously we have no right tackle. If there's a big edge player, I could see moving. I mean, even just a speedy edge, just to give us another option, because yeah, Tulamau and Latu are just not doing it for us. We have 1 big defensive tackle and a bunch of not great players. So I guess if there's like an absolute star, or we might go after Barmore again. We'll have to see what that holds for us. Zaire, he's actually going down, and overall he's regressing probably a lot, right? Yeah. So we could also use a linebacker. That's just too bad. Zaire is a very good player, but 78 overall, probably not going to cut it. Jalen Carleys is a good young player. Yeah, probably going to need a linebacker at some point. Obviously, we'll draft a cornerback, so we'll have 4 good corners. If there's like a star out there, sure, but I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be any of those. Safeties are fine. We'll draft a backup for Bynum. Kicker, punter, long snapper, all doing great So, linebacker, right tackle, edge, tight end. Those are gonna be what it looks like. Aiden Hutchinson is great, but I don't think he wants he wants 34 mil a year, dude. Yeah, I don't know about that, Aiden. I don't know if the Indianapolis Colts can afford you. So move to the offensive line here. Brady Christensen, all right. Elton Jenkins, Brian O'Neill, and he wants to be here. Brian O'Neill would be great, actually. 2 years, he's 31, 33. Yeah, I could do Brian O'Neill for a couple of years. 50 mil. That seems like, how are we competing with the other? We're just under the Rams, so let's make it 2 years, 52 mil. More guaranteed money, puts us over the Rams. Yeah, Brian O'Neill, that's what an upgrade. Almost a 10-point upgrade over Caleb McGarry. So that would solve that issue straight away. Edge players, I mean, Kwity Paye is the second best edge on the left side of free agency, so we're probably not going to... Ooh, well, I may have spoken too soon. Van Ness is good, and I like Thibodeau a lot. Van Ness wants to be here more, but he has a team offering, so we'll, 12 a year? Yeah, let's give him 2 years, 24 and a half, and see what he has to say about that. Looks like that's, I mean, we can even take that money down a little bit. 2 years, 22 million for Van Ness. And we're still in number 1. All right, nice. We'll probably get a good edge. Linebackers, Tremaine Edmonds is interesting. I like him on a personal level. I think he's a very good player, but I don't know if he's going to be our decision here. Man, there's not a lot of linebackers to pick from. Overshown's fast, I guess. Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, I guess Zaire Franklin's just going to be our backer. Marlon Humphreys is a good veteran. I don't hate that. I don't like how much we're going to have to pay for him, so I'm probably going to pass on him as well. Safeties aren't really a need for us. I'll just kind of take a quick look here. Yeah, no, not... I guess I could bring in Isaiah Simmons, throw him in the linebacking core. Oh, Garnes, that's who I was going to look at. I forgot, I got to jump down. Aaron Garnes likes that bottom-of-the-barrel offer. He was an undrafted kid. We can pick him up in free agency if we really want to, if he doesn't go for that one. So one way or another, he'll be because nobody else is going to be signing Aaron Garnes. Lowest amount of money for Treadwell is 1 year, 1.3 mil. So those are going to be our 4 offers. I feel like we should just find, yeah, tight end. That's what I need to do. Oh, it's going to be Luke Musgrave, isn't it? No, Devin Culp. I've heard Devin Culp before, but he's a speedy kid. Luke Musgrave, speedster. Higgins, Kraft, Jonnu Smith. How about the oldest, fastest guy? It's going to be Jonnu, isn't it? Continuing with my let's go sign former Vikings, Josh Oliver is a current Viking, so we'll, I don't know why I moved the money up. I'll move the money back down. I mean, 3.5 bonus is crazy, but yeah, 30-year-old Josh Oliver. He came into the Vikings as like the premier blocking tight end, and he's really made a name for himself as a receiver. Brian O'Neill with a big deal. Van Ness with a fine deal. Oliver, Garnes, and Quan Treadwell are just to kind of fill out the roster. Those are the 5 players we're going after. And we'll skip forward 1. And we got him, Brian O'Neill. New starting right tackle for your Indianapolis Colts. Sim period 2. Van Ness goes off the board. He does not go with us, so we're going to have to circle back for Thibodeau. And the third signing period, or evaluation period ends, and we are still without those 3 players. All right. Ooh, Aiden Hutchinson goes to the Saints. Kwity Paye to the Super Bowl champion Jets. Bosa to the Rams. Van Ness to the Commanders. We'll give him a 1-year prove-it deal. He'll say no to that. I don't know who's going after him, but yeah, the Titans. Yeah, he'll probably be a Titan. I completely forgot about Christian Barmore. So he signs with the Steelers. I wasn't going to give him. I mean, probably wasn't going to make a real hard push for him anyways. Grover Stewart wants to come back. We traded him away. So I guess we'll give Grover... I can't do 18. Cannot do 18. I can do 15. 1 year 15, and he wants to play for us, so we'll get a little bit extra boost there. Are there any super speedy Gallmore? And he looks like he's in a Colts jersey, so that's interesting if he's a modern-day Colt that I'm unaware of. We got Garnes, Treadwell, Oliver, which means we missed out on Grover Stewart. Grover goes to play for the Panthers. Yeah, defensive tackles. I like Harrison Phillips a lot, but again, at some point, I have to put a stop to this whole signing Vikings thing, okay? I don't even know why I'm looking at defensive tackles. There's defensive tackles to draft. Speaking of the draft, let's take a look at the draft board. We're going to move it to attributes, of course. And we're going to move it to cornerback. So I did like accurately predict all the good ones. Who can I take off the board here? Levi Weber. Yeah, you can go off the board, thanks, undrafted kid. So one of these cornerbacks here, one of these top 7 players, 8 actually, Marcus Allen's a first-round pick, so Marcus Allen will probably be it, because I think we can probably take him later. But yeah, one of these 8 players, at least one of them will be our second-round choice, and we have a lot of second-round picks. Quarterbacks, we're not really in the market for. Will Rudd is a funny name, so I threw him on the board. Top five talent for Dante Walker, but I don't think we're going to be in a position to draft him. So Windsor, or Weber, Johnson. Johnson had that draft story, so maybe we'll scoop up the Penn State kid. This Jimmy Weber is a Washington State guy. He played with John McCain and Eric Madden. So John McCain will be our second to third round talent for John McCain. I don't really like that. I didn't mean to back out there. But yeah, I don't really like our first round pick being that low. Great agility. Great strength. Well, I guess 6'4", 230, you better have good strength, buddy. Speed guys are Holcomb, Keaton, and Carson Harris. And they're all pretty high. I don't think I'm going to be spending 2 first rounds or a first and a second on my wideouts. The first round pick itself is just to do the bit, right? Channing Anthony's got good speed, though. He's an undrafted kid. So, hey, he's also Washington State. So, maybe I'll bring in a second Washington State receiver. This is what I was super curious about. Jason Brown and Cliff Newby. But they're both first to second round picks. I don't think I can justify that. Quinn Parsons is a first round pick. Todd Whitfield, first to second. Brent Maynard, he's an Iowa guy, and he's gonna be very good. Danny Worth, if that falls through. But yeah, so Brent Maynard is the other kid I really 6'6", Iowa tight end, second to third round pick. If we can get him late second, I could justify that, right? We'll move over to the left tackle. Barrington, Devontae Wright, and then an undrafted kid. So I could see taking one of these guys and moving them to guard, because again, our Gonglaves needs to be upgraded. He really does. Two elite strength guards. One is 6'6", one is 6'3". South Carolina and Georgia kid. Rashawn Johnston also looks good. Enrique Alvarado is insane. Like, he's going to be a pretty high draft pick. We'll take a look at that final mock, but I imagine Alvarado is going to be a pretty high draft pick because he's very good. Nothing for right guard. So this is why we have to move an outside player inside. Not going to be taking any of those 2 guys. But yeah, one of these, Blake Hall, or Blake Bell rather, is the guy they had us taking with that position. And he, good speed, good strength, great agility. Yeah, maybe Blake Bell. Blake Bell is our second round pick. One of our second round picks. We have 3 second rounds, by the way. Left edge has nobody. Right edge has a couple okay guys, but again, we'll be taking McCain, so we have to look further down the board. And are there guys that I feel really good about? 4 great speed rushers. That's where we put Russell on there, but Ty Keller, Kirk Mormon, Russell, and Santiago. Defensive tackle. Now this is where we have search by or sort by that. So these are the fat guys, right? Will McCree and Tim Schaub, both late round guys, because I'm so upset over Dewan Atkins going to the Saints. So one of these two fellas will be a Colt. I would prefer McCree because he's 6'6", but Schaub is 360 pounds. So either way, they're very good. These undrafted kids, we might take a swing on one of them as well. Obviously, Tobin's generational style. We got some real talent here. Jonathan Shields, Bain, and Bonds are all looking sweet. McElroy we don't have, but I like the way he looked with his attributes. Jared McLean out of Alabama. Gets a little mark next to his name. I like Danny Lippett quite a bit out of Clemson. Again, if we can get him in the 3rd, that would be sweet. There's no way, because he's the only Mike linebacker. He's the top-rated Mike linebacker, so there's no way it's going to happen. So Scott Townsend might be the fallback. We also have Leo Hawkinson, a Washington State guy, because I'm just loading up on Washington State. Linebackers. Look at that. Okay, Jerry Culver. Never mind. Jerry Culver is the pick. 3rd to 4th round, which means we have to get him early 3rd, late 2nd. And he's a second round talent, so that's going to be the pick. All right, we have at least a linebacker. Marcus Allen. I don't really want to wait. We're going to have to see how many of these cornerbacks go off in the 1st round. I guess we can check that right now. As much as I would love to take a shot at Castro, or who's the other one? Baker. Yeah, Baker and Castro are going to be very good. They're both out of USC. Don't think I can pull the trigger there. Just don't feel like that's going to happen. Down the board, Nate Smith, Chris Allen are fine, right? Same with some of these other safeties on the other side. Jarius Reed, DeMonte, I forgot his name. Special teamers are fine. So listen, we got a lot of, I don't know, man. There's a decent amount of players that I like, but there's only like 1 or 2 or 3 that I love. Well, as you can see, we have less money. Salary cap going down to 77 mil. Means we definitely signed some free agents in that pause period. You're going to see a lot of purple. I apologize. It just is the way it is, okay? We sign Aaron Jones to be a backup running back. He's old. He's 32. He's still a superstar because I forgot to turn dev trait regression off, but that's neither here nor there. But he's a good receiving back. He'll get in the ball. He'll get in the game now and then and just kind of make some plays, screens and whatnot. He's also very intelligent. He'll add to the locker room. Anthony Bradford is one of the funniest players you've ever seen in your life. I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't sign him. So we brought in Anthony Bradford, otherwise known as Saddam Hussein. We have Josh Oliver, you guys know about him. We brought back Jay Ward, Aaron Garnes is brought back, and then Laquan Treadwell. So the only true additions are Josh Oliver, Anthony Bradford, Aaron Jones, and Brian O'Neill. We've got private workouts available. 3 guys we're going to be taking a look at are Blake Bell, the right tackle who would play guard for us, Brent Maynard, the 3rd tight end on our team if we draft him, but he's the Iowa guy and he should be very highly rated. And then Dennis Russell is a pretty highly rated left edge or right edge. I can't quite remember, but he's an edge player and we need edge help. So let's move to the draft week. We'll take a look at that final mock here after I take a look at the 3 guys I just looked at. There's a lot of looks there. We'll take a look at the final draft after I take a peek into these final 3 players. Maynard is a top 5 pick. All right, so Brent Maynard has got to be a player that we draft in the 2nd round, 2nd to 3rd. We gotta pick him up. Just is. Dennis Russell comes off the board. He's an undrafted free agent type guy. And the 1st round pick for Blake Bell. So Blake is probably going to be a pick for us as well. We just gotta got to be in the right position. Let's take a look at the last mock draft that sees, hey, is Brackett? No, okay, Tobin. But yeah, Brackett is the best player. 4 of 5 drafts. He's been taken #1 overall. Vikings get a big offensive lineman there. He'll probably be moved over to the right to take over for O'Neal. Saints had an outstanding draft last year. They looked to improve by protecting their investment and getting a offensive lineman. Malik Landry to the Falcons. If there's one thing the Falcons need, it's more running backs. What the hell are you doing? Okay, sure. Rutherford, quarterback. The Jags finally moving on from T-Law. That's a good decision, right? DeMarcus Floyd. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he can't be much worse than T-Law. Walker to the Bengals. That would be pretty great. We have our big. Is that the first cornerback taken? Yeah, first cornerback goes off the board here. Number 11, Peter Minor. Minor, I think, is going to be very good. So we'll hate to see him twice a year. Simmons. Sherfield, Charles. I like Julian Charles a lot. And Sherfield. So 4 cornerbacks taken and 5 picks here is not good for us. I'll tell you that much for free. As we have some bigger guys. There's Billingsley goes off the board. Are we going to get a cornerback in the second round? They still have us taking Blake Bell here. Don't think that's going to happen. Alvarado right after us. Baker goes off the board. And to the Titans would be a disaster. Castro to the Cowboys. They actually have McCain dropping out of the first round. I can't get cute though. I cannot get cute. I gotta look at the roster one more time here, but I can't get cute. We lost out last year, losing out on the premier defensive tackle. Let's actually, just to remind myself that I don't need to get cute, because I tried to get cute and trade down. And hopefully the DT was going to be there still. And guess who we missed out on? We missed out on Dewan Adkins. He was an 80 overall superstar defensive tackle. So this is who we missed out on. Okay, so let's not get cute. They also pick up Leonard Williams, but let's not get cute this draft. Let's just let's go after the players we want and let's get them. Okay. Quarterback is fine. We can probably, late round pick maybe, but we'll see what happens. Running back room is solid. We're good. We don't need any help in the running back room whatsoever. Johnson is good. We do need that wide receiver, so we'll go after McCain. Treadwell, Gold, and Blaine Pritchard all playing for that slot. Don't love it, but we'll see what happens. Tight end room is good now, but we're going to be taking Maynard, so we'll have an elite tight end room. Left tackle's good. Left guard's good. We could use some backup. Anthony Bradford. We could use some backup offensive linemen. Yeah, so backup O-linemen. We'll definitely be taking them down the board. Tulamau, Latu, Latu. That's just going to be... There's just no edges, right? Like, unfortunately, that's just going to be our edge combo again. We need that defense, one of those 2 defensive tackles. Linebackers, we'll grab Culliver, and then that will give us 3 solid options there. We'll grab one of the top cornerbacks, solidify our cornerback room. We're not going to have a safety drop to us, so we'll probably not. We'll see if we draft any. We'll look it over. All right, I've been agonizing. I paused the video and deleted a bunch of me going because I'm agonizing over the decisions to be made here. I am so concerned that some of the players we desperately want are going to be gone. So let's I think for sure we can move down to the 22nd player of the draft without too many concerns, mainly because I don't want to watch like the animation that plays. But maybe we should just yep. There goes Brackett, Rashad Brackett, number 1. This should be the offensive tackle, Kelly to the Saints. Love that. This will be the defensive tackle, Tobin. If the Falcons take a running back here, I'll curse. Hell, brother. All right, Malik Landry, best running back room in the history of the league by the Falcons, because that's the year we live in, I guess. First cornerback, Dylan Rutherford to the Cardinals. We'll see if their defense handles that well, as we have a defensive tackle to the Cowboys. Cowboys have 2 first-round picks. I Oh, that's from the Parsons trade. That does make sense, actually. As another defensive tackle to the Eagles goes off the board. And then we got Cassidy Sampson, a big cornerback. 2 cornerbacks taken. DeMarcus Floyd takes over for T. Law. I mean, we'll see if he's any good, but there is the Bengals' next top running back, Dante Walker, going off the board. Another cornerback here. 3rd one in the top 11 picks. And I think we're about to go on a run of cornerbacks as Chiefs get a tackle, cornerback for the Commanders, cornerback for the Steelers, cornerback for the Browns, defensive tackle for the Bears. We like Damian Oliver. The Patriots continue to protect their investment in Drake May with another offensive lineman selection. There's yet another cornerback off the board. Or we have a left tackle to the Chargers. Giants select an offensive lineman. Man, a lot of offensive linemen going off the board here early. There's Brandon Cole. And guess who's on the board? It's your Indianapolis Colts. Now, McCain is the pick, okay? But if I trade out of this and I get effed, nobody's even offering anything good. So, a stick and pick coming off the board. Your Indianapolis Colts select wide receiver out of the University of Washington State, John McCain. Now, a comparison for John McCain is hard to make since so few match his elite size and explosiveness. Coming out of high school, many wanted to move this athletic kid to edge using his size and speed to chase down quarterbacks, but John was adamant he wanted to play wide receiver, which is what led him to Washington State, where he was promised a position in the wide receiver room. McCain doesn't really have the shake to get much separation underneath, but he's physical inside the route and is good at making contested catches when needed. He has the size, strength, and speed combo to best most singled-up cornerbacks in 50-50 balls. He's a vertical challenger outside, a possession receiver as a big slot, an outstanding run blocker, and has the speed to even see some kick return duties. I mean, if there's a need with the Colts. He does have weakness to his game. I mean, he's not the best wide receiver at any one thing. He's not going to be a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase. But he has a high ceiling and every physical trait needed to be a star in the NFL, especially since we're reuniting him with his close friend and former college teammate, Eric Madden. We look for big things out of this young man. He's going to be taking over second wide receiver position for Josh Downs. Downs had less than 600 yards. If McCain has anywhere near 600 yards in his rookie year, I think it will be a success. Hidden dev, 90 speed, 88 jumping, 92 agility, and 90 acceleration. 6'4", 234 pounds. This kid is a beast. B release, B stiff arm, B spectacular catch. Yeah, we'll be looking for big things out of Jonathan McCain. Do you like that spiel, by the way? I may have put in a little more effort in this time around, mainly because I can't think for myself. So I had to do something crazy. If we have back-to-back left tackles, there's Levi Barker. Barker going to have a fun time trying to contain McCain in the years to come as the Cowboys' second pick. They select Castro. So 2 picks in the first round. They go defensive tackle, then they go safety. So Cowboys' defense will be much improved. Jonathan Shields, Sam Backer goes off the board. Jonathan Gonzalez, a center. There's Alvarado. Man, there are so many big men being selected in this first round as the Rams get Monte Peak. Peak is a outstanding receiver. He'll be matched up with... the Rams got some big receiver. Who's the Rams wideout that they... obviously, we got Nakua, but I thought they drafted a receiver. Am I misremembering? I am misremembering. Yep, never mind. Never mind with that whole drafted thing. They have Jordan Whitehead, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Puka Nakua, and now, I mean, this is Devin Banks is in heaven, dude. He's a 90 overall. How about the Jets? You think the Jets, I would go with defense if I were them. They just won the Super Bowl. They've got a great young quarterback. And they go and get Vinny Calhoun. Now the Jets are going all in on offense too, because again, they for sure they drafted a great wide receiver. Yeah, Spencer Ward, that was who I was thinking Spencer Ward, and then I think the Steelers got DJ Burton. I think I was confusing them with the Rams, but this is a great wide receiver room. Wilson, Ward, and now Vinny Calhoun. I will say we got 2 crackers in that Jets wide receiver room. It's a little concerning. Blake Bell to the freaking Vikings. You're kidding me, dude. Golly. All right. Changes things up. Changes things up quite a bit, actually. 3rd pick, 2nd round. Does anybody want to give us a first for next year? A third. A third. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Titans are willing to give us a 1st round pick next year. Seahawks. A lot of trading with them in the years past. Somebody who's going to be terrible, though. I don't... Yeah, Cardinals are going to give us their 3rd, a 2nd next year, and a 7th year next year as well. That's not even remotely worth it. All right, well, let's try to make something happen here, all right? Alrighty, I kind of said I wasn't going to do this, but DJ Giddens, our backup running back. We signed Aaron Jones to kind of play that position, so DJ Giddens goes on the move. We're trading him. He'll be the backup for the Chargers, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty nice gig backing up Omarion Hampton. We get the Chargers' 1st round pick next year. It's going to be a late 1st rounder, but I mean, it's a 1st round pick nonetheless. We give them the 3rd overall pick right now that we currently have. We give them a 3rd round pick next year. They give us their 1st round pick for next year. They give us a 3rd round pick for this year, and then a 4th for next as well. So a lot of moving pieces. We'll see who they're moving up for. I'm a little miffed that we skipped out on Blake Bell, but it is what it is. We've got some good... You've got to be effing with me, dude. Brent Maynard. They used my pick to take the player I wanted, and then they get Giddens as well. Well, whatever, man. Pissed. Actually pissed. Falcons select a wide receiver, a real speedy guy. Cardinals take a wideout. Cowboys continue to rebuild their defense with a linebacker. Santiago goes off the board right before us. That's the best edge rusher in the on the board, or in the draft, I should say. Guys, it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out. It really didn't. But we go out and we take Oklahoma State's own Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen is an explosive athlete and a former long jump champion in high school, has plenty of confidence and competitiveness. He has impressive tape against a few of the top schools in college, as you can see here. Good anticipation to jump and square and slants. Playing in the Big 12, he found himself in a lot of one-on-one matchups. He can hem up press coverage with patient but aggressive jams, crowds and slants and phases with routes outside the numbers, maximizes his length to shield the 50-50 balls. He rips through the hands. He can't make the catch. Very good at that. His response time in zone is fairly immediate. Sticks and drives back with suddenness and side shuffle. Now, it's not all good news. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He added a lot of weight coming into the draft. It's good, but, I mean, he's not the biggest cornerback out there. He needs to limit his handsy face guarding. As a pro, you're just not going to get away with a lot of that. He could struggle early in his career with pass interference issues, loses positioning when turning to find the ball with inside eyes. He's slow to give off blocks in the run game. In fact, he's not a great tackler either. The running game is, I mean, he's not going to do a lot in the running game. I'm just going to say that right now. Overall, this young man is a fantastic addition to our defense. He's going to step in and play that role. Kenny Moore is very good, all right? No shade to Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is like 5'1". This kid at 6'1" is going to be doing a lot better against those teams that we'll be facing, right? We're going to be going up against big, strong receivers. He's the number 8th player in the draft. High football IQ is always on display. Good knowledge of zone concepts. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 90 change of direction, A zone coverage, A awareness, I mean, listen, he's not going to be making every tackle, but he's going to be adding a lot to our defense, not only in his rookie year, but in the years to come as well. All right, listen, so that was one of the must-added players. We lost out on Bell, we lost out on Maynard. There's one more guy. Do you think the linebacker makes it to the 55th pick in the draft? Because I don't think he will. Let's see what the Jags do here. Iglesias, Bengals, McElroy. Okay, there's a linebacker off the board. Texans take our guy. Nope, there's another linebacker. Oh my gosh, dude. Every selection is terrifying. Jack Hall. Browns take a quarterback. Jack Hall. All right, that's interesting. Linebacker goes to the Bears. Take a look at the draft board and see how many linebackers are still available. All right, there's 2 guys that should go above him. 3 guys. Ah, wait a minute. Lipke's still here. Oh, we're good. Okay, as long as we get Culliver or Lipke, we should be fine. So let's take it slow. Backed in. Wait, we're gonna be able to select either of those. There goes Winzo. There goes Windsor. Good running back. And now, hey, Brett Derby. So we got both players still available to us. Our next pick is the 19th pick in the 3rd round. Who am I? Who do I want to take? Let's and I think it's time to make a decision here. And it's going to be Jerry Culliver. A zone, A awareness, A pursuit. Yeah, Jerry's going to be the pick, and he's a old school style linebacker. He wants to hit and bring his pads with him when he delivers the blow. Delivers a jarring punch into oncoming offensive linemen on the 2nd level. Defends his area of turf and sees past blockers, keeping his eye trained on the play. He's able to disengage and shed blockers pretty nicely. Plays low with leverage. Once he diagnoses, he can trigger into gaps. Expected to be productive special team player as well if we need him in that spot. Now, he's not the twitchiest of athletes, right? He takes time gearing up and changing directions. He can kind of struggle tackling jitterbug runners in space. He added nothing in as a pass rusher, but as a blitzer, he adds another whole dimension, right? At 5'11", he's short enough to cut underneath a lot of those big offensive linemen. 90 acceleration, 87 speed. I don't see his tackling stats here, but yeah, Jerry Culliver should be able to step in. I don't know where he'll fit in on the defense, but yeah, either this rookie year or potentially next year, we have an absolute superstar. I know he's a normal dev, but we have an absolute bona fide superstar of a linebacker here in the 2nd round. And honestly, I'm not even totally against the idea of going and trying to grab Lippett, depending on if he drops, right? Like the top rated the top rated middle linebacker might be a good addition as we see these picks continue to come off the board here. Ringer the edge. There's a nice wide. Carson Harris is a dynamite wide receiver going to the Ravens. Jets' final pick of the 2nd round will be a cornerback Bass. Vikings' first pick is, oh, golly. Okay, Danny Lippett goes to the Vikings. Vikings are killing me today, man. The Vikings are making me ill as they grab a very good linebacker in the 3rd round, which makes sense. Colby King was their starting linebacker, right? That led to them having a terrible defense. As Tarvarius Harris is the 3rd pick. Falcons take Jason Brown. Okay, what are the Falcons doing? Honestly, what are the Falcons doing? Cliff Newby goes to the Cardinals. We might need a draft or trade up. What do we? I feel like a lot of the good cornerbacks. Yeah. Listen, I don't mind Danny Worth, but things could be better. That's my review. As Dennis Russell goes to the Cowboys. Whitfield is the last of the top-end tight ends, so we're just not going to get a top-end tight end. There goes Chris Allen. William McCree goes. All right, so there's the first of the big defensive tackles. We got to trade up to the Bengals pick here. I wonder how expensive this is going to be. All right, well, that was actually really simple. Our Sam Backer Phillips and a 3rd gets us the Bengals 3rd, and we're able to trade up their pick and select. There's a 1st round wide receiver out of Arkansas State still available. Interesting. Able to trade up and grab Texas defensive tackle Tim Schaub. Now, listen, we missed out on Dwan Adkins last year, which means we had to go find somebody of his size, right? This nose tackle prospect has a massive build, right? Good length as well for his arms. Capable of keeping the line against strong single blocks and double teams. Finding the ball and moving within the box is part of his game. He flashes decent agility for his size, capable of pressuring the pocket with just pure brute strength. But I mean, really good get off for a 360-pound, 6'5" man. He can overwhelm single blockers with his size, quick shake to get in the gap. Now, his lower body leaves a little bit to be desired, okay? He's going to end up on the ground quite a bit. His upper body is, I mean, he's massive, but his balance is a little bit high for like what I would prefer. He could, like, cut blocks are going to work a decent amount of time with him, and he doesn't deal well with them. He's got a big, large, powerful frame, as I've explained, 6'6". He uses power and technique, high IQ as well. He's a Texas kid, only 21 years old, 95 strength, 80 acceleration, 71 speed, with B awareness and B block shedding, A play recognition. He's an absolute dog, and we got listen, our defense is vastly improved with just 2 selections. Clements to the Texans sucks. Nate Smart to the Chiefs also sucks. Don't like the players that I was thinking about drafting going to teams that I might have to face. Jarius Reeves to the Browns. A lot of these. Junior Johnson, that stinks. Because, yeah, we are going to need a backup running back now. Danny Worth was the guy I was going to select, and he goes to the Buccaneers. 1 pick before me. That's great. 6'5", 272 pounds out of NC State. Hopefully can get on the field and sack the quarterback a little bit more than our top 2 guys did last year. Max was named to the ACC's all-freshman team. Once he moved into the starting lineup as a sophomore, he became a major threat off the edge. He finished the season with 8 sacks to go along with his 45 tackles, 11 of those tackles for a loss. Past year as a junior, his numbers dipped a little bit, only 28 tackles, 11 for loss, and 5.5 sacks, which dropped him out of the first round. I mean, there was discussion going into last year's draft that this could be a first-round pick, right? But then he had, again, a bad junior year, but he has big-time upside. He has size and natural athleticism that teams covet in the draft. He displays quick burst off the line, the ability to slip past tackles and get into the backfield. He has a lot of pass rush upside, but that's only half the game because he's really good against the run too. Couple problems we could see is does not dominate one-on-ones as he should. If you look at all the hurries he had last year, he could have had upwards of 15 sacks, but he could not get himself to actually bring down the quarterback. There's also rumors that he did not take to the coaching very well, or take to coaching very well, I should say. He's a good little player. 87 speed is outstanding, 83 strength, 79 acceleration, and the 3rd round continues. Guard for the Giants, wide receiver for the Raiders, and we're back on the board. Our next pick is in the 5th round, so let's see if we can trade and get some value here before we Seahawks 3rd and a 4th this year. It's not half bad. I don't mind that at all, actually. Yeah, let's actually make that deal with the Seahawks. We'll get their 4th. We'll get a 4th round pick this year and their 3rd next year. So, moving out of the 3rd here, we got 2 3rd round picks, and they take Will Rudd. All right, Sam Darnold gonna have an opportunity to coach up a young man. Will Rudd, big upside for him. I like him. Didn't really do a draft preview thing of him because, you know, I'm not going to draft a quarterback. Although I could have. I could have very easily got a decent backup for us. We do plan on bringing in a backup at some point, either the end of this draft or free agency, as the 3rd round ends with the Jets selecting Braxton Mayweather, a guard. A's across the board. I really like Braxton Mayweather, to be clear. Bit upsetting. Wasn't able to bring him in, but it is what it is. Backup quarterback to the Texans. Nice little cornerback there to the Saints. The Saints snipe another kid that I was looking at. In fact, I don't think I'm... Yeah, let's just skip to my pick here. Well, I'm seeing names that I would have liked. Quite a few of the names that I would have liked, actually, off the board. Kind of a bummer, I guess. That's what I would say. Kind of a bummer. Alright, so I get a 6th round pick next year, which is useless, but, you know, whatever. The more picks, the better. We can always trade out. We only go back like 7 picks, so we'll see if any of the kids that I love are off the board. Nah, not really. End of the 4th. Let's double check to see if there's anybody offering something sweet. Very weird how Madden will do this. Well, they'll be like, hey, do you want to just move down? We won't offer you anything, but you can just get rid of that pick. Like, why? Why would you do that? We flopped that 49ers pick for a 4th round pick for the Niners next year. We pick up their 6th this year, so that'll be that. I mean, kind of abusing the trade logic, but it is what it is. You know. As we watch these final picks go off the board here, we'll have the 12th pick in the 5th round. Keller, I wanted him. Falcons pick him up. Thurston's good. Ooh, man, a couple of those wide receivers that I liked are going off the board. So let's pick up. You know, here's the thing. Miles Watkins is a kid that I really, really like. But, you know, it is what it is. All right. Keegan Leary is our selection here. Big, strong right tackle. Didn't have a draft profile prepared for him because he is a 6th round pick, right? But he is a strong offensive tackle. We hear some boos. Guys, it's the 6th round. Calm down. He'll be playing backup to Brian O'Neill. We'll keep him on the bench, right? He's not the strongest and he's not the fastest, but I think overall Keegan Leary is a pretty decent prospect for us. As long as he doesn't, you know, get on the field very often. That's going to be the big one. Keep him off the field. As skip to our next pick here. I'm tempted to go Leo Hawkinson. I really am. Let's go A.J. Weaver, Iowa State kid. A awareness, A pass blocking. Should be a solid selection. Ooh, people are clapping. Oh, okay, cool. Should be a solid selection here for us. He's the 52nd player in the draft. We got him at 149. That's pretty good. Above average processing puts him in advantageous positioning. What is this review here? Or the scouting report, I should say. Hidden dev, 84 strength, 80 acceleration. I guess maybe I should just be taking high awareness players. A pass finesse. I mean, he's a very, that's, all right. Well, that kind of changes things a little bit. I don't know. We'll skip down to the 28th pick here in the 5th round. Looks like the players that I adore are still there. Whoops, I hit skip. That was stupid of me. Leo Hawkinson does become a Colt because I skipped to the next pick stupidly. So Leo Hawkinson, Washington State kid. Fast little linebacker. He's got a good head for the game. He's not going to be outstanding in any position. He will not be competing for a starting job here. He'll be special teams at best. But he's a solid player, a good guy. Washington State is full of really, really good young men, and that's what you want to see out of them. Now for the next, we'll grab that wide receiver. Oh, he's gone. Luis Rosario was selected by somebody else. Well, that's a bummer. Well, Channing Anthony, maybe? We'll go back to favorites. Yeah, heck it, whatever. Jordan Farley. Good young running back. Not real quick, but he's got decent speed. 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 89 agility. B, break tackling. This is like, in a few years, this is our guy that we need to develop like an Aaron Jones, right? Like he's a good receiving back, and that's kind of what we need right now. As we can skip down to the 29th pick, and that's where we'll be taking Lance Page, quarterback out of Mankato, Minnesota State. He's a highly decorated and highly confident Division II quarterback with adequate NFL size, but some mechanical issues that need to be cleaned up. Page's footwork can be erratic under pressure, and his delivery is reminiscent of a shortstop throwing to first base at times. He plays with a good sense of his offensive design and willingness to attack all intermediate pockets of the field, regardless of the cover scheme. However, the decision-making and arm strength might not be good enough to beat window-shopping defensive backs in the NFL. Obviously, the competition he faced in college wasn't on par with what other prospects were facing, but with the electric speed and a willingness to take hits, even if the quarterback doesn't work out, you could see him taking a Taysom Hill spot in our offense. 2,000-yard rushing seasons in college. Doesn't, again, lacks the zip, doesn't have great accuracy. 86 throw power is crap, but 92 speed, 92 acceleration. You can watch him, and again, it is Division II football, but you can watch him here just roasting players, just absolutely making them look silly. 5'10", 218. He's a project, and you know, that's it. That's the review. He is a project. As our final selection here, 7th round, 22nd pick, we'll be selecting Channing Anthony. He is the other side of that wide receiver room from Washington State. He's a speedster and a slot guy. He is not the type of receiver who's going to be on the field every snap. He just isn't. He does not have the frame or the size for it, but what he does have is outstanding speed and quickness. He's a punt returner. He'll be challenging Sean Griffin for that role. Very savvy, very smart. Now, he only played 1 year. That was his sophomore year with Eric Madden, so he came out early to go with John McCain. That is kind of the deal. And the idea that we can keep these two receivers together with their former college quarterback, right? So we have 3 parts of the Washington State offense on our team in Indianapolis. So we'll be looking for good stuff out of him as we're going to sim to the end of the NFL draft here. But we snagged quite a few, some decent players as John McCain comes into the league as a 73 overall. Listen, we got him for the memes, but 73 overall is not the worst ever. 79 for Marcus Allen is sweet. What a nice starter. We nabbed there. That will be I think that's already the second highest rated cornerback on our roster, so that's pretty great. As a rookie, he'll continue out. Does he have hidden dev, by the way? I forget. Yeah, hidden dev on Marcus Allen. Sweet. Jerry Culver only a 74, so I mean he'll work into the lineup, but he probably won't be a starter until next year. Normal dev for him, not great. Tim Schaub as a 75 will be a starter. Max Bird's only a 67. That's the funny number, so he probably won't be a starter. AJ Weaver at 74, though. I mean, there's a player and a half for you with hidden dev. Yeah, Weaver could get in there and start like almost immediately, as the rest of the players are all in the mid 60s, other than Page, I guess. He was pretty low. All right, let's jump over to the NFL in general. Top-rated player is Brent Maynard. I knew it was going to happen. All right, the kid that I traded out of is the highest-rated player in the NFL, or in this year's draft, I should say. 83 overall, 85 speed. Good tight end prospect there. Chargers got an absolute, bracket is good. Kelly is good. All these top players you kind of expected. Levi Baker, 80 overall. Good player there. Ours is the top rated of the second tier, other than the, whatever, it's fine. Man, you're the wide receiver, I guess. Look at that. I like that these 3 guys are higher rated, and they look better than the guy that we took in the first. It's fine. Listen, his name's John McCain. There's Blake Bell, 77 overall. Be a nice addition to that Minnesota offensive line. Rosario. That's the little bug guy I was gonna take. He's a 76 overall. Not a speed kid, but man, he was my little bug friend. And I took Farley instead. Yeah, he went 4 picks before me. That's a bummer. Carson Harris, Ravens get a real speedy receiver. Oh, look, Channing is the 4th fastest. Oh my gosh. Deontay Walker with 94 speed as our running back is insane. Stanton has good speed too. So there was some good players in this draft. There was a lot of them actually, and I'm happy with our draft so far. I should say I'm happy with our draft. Now that it's over, the draft looks good. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a tough one for me to say. Take a look at our competition. Titans go out and they get Levi Baker, and then they get a bunch of backups. All right, well that's easy. Peter Minor to the Texans. outstanding cornerback. 79 overall is sweet. Max Bonds will be nice. They got Clements, which is, yeah, big upgrade for their secondary with those two guys. And then Jermaine Stockton, I liked him. They got him in the 7th round. Pretty nice for the Texans. Jags have entered a rebuild as they take a quarterback 9th overall, 75, decent speed, big arm. Yeah, I like DeMarcus Floyd. Probably sit behind. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what T Law is at. Iglesias, a center. So you've got a center and a quarterback coming in to Jacksonville. William McCree is the kid that I loved, so it sucks that we'll be facing him twice a year, and then a bunch of backups as well. So did the Saints go crazy? Actually, Vikings look like they got some dimes too. Good offensive line, 1 and 2, right? They got Lippett. It was only a 71. I guess I don't feel so bad about that. And then they got Freeman, defensive tackle. Looks real nice. Saints killed the draft last year. This year, they do well again. 81 overall, 78 overall. Townsend's a 72. Yeah, they Saints might be good in a couple years. That's my review of that. I gotta move players around now. That's gonna be, well, I guess I can do that. Whatever. It's not like there's any penalty to doing it in the preseason. I do need to sign some undrafted free agents. Obviously, we have a training camp coming up. Week 1 of the preseason, episode 1 of season 3 on its way. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. God bless.